3, 2, 1. Wow. Oh my God, that's cold. Welcome back to You Betcha Radio Podcast. I'm Miles, the You Betcha guy, here with Ryan, the T-shirt guy. This is the coldest podcast in all the Midwest. I forgot to say that last time, Ryan.
Did you?
I did. We got some Masters talk. We got some Game of Thrones talk. We got some Easter talk. All on this episode of You Betcha Radio. Let's get into the show.
I would venture to say it's almost the nectar of the gods. Back, baby, back. I want my push. Oh my God, that's cold.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome back again to episode 15 of the You Betcha Radio Podcast. I am Ryan, the T-shirt guy. You can go follow me, guys, at Ryan, the T-shirt guy. Also, go follow our main page at Oh You Betcha. Springtime is upon us. We got a lot of cool content in the works that we're going to be pushing out here in the next couple weeks. We got the bar takeovers coming up. On top of that, guys, at Ranch Wrangler, we're wrangling up the best ranch in the Midwest, the best viscosity, the best ranch overall. We've been pretty consistent with it. I don't know if we have yet found the best ranch in the Midwest yet, but that's the goal.
Well, right now it's Chili's.
So Chili's is at the top, but there's always room.
But we've
to
only
take over
done like
later.
13 of them or whatever, so there's still time to find.
Yeah. So at Ranch Wrangler,
Before we get too far into this, if you guys are hearing some rap music in the background, we didn't plug it in. It is the neighbors. We were kind of waiting for them to maybe stop playing it. Not going to happen today. So
they're on a big Drake kick. We've heard like 3 Drake songs in a row.
yeah, so we're just going to roll with it. If anything, it's just a little background music for listeners. But that's just part of being a You Betcha fan is stuff like this happens. Bush burp. But I just like to just want to put that out there right at the beginning so people weren't like, what's going on?
We are not playing Drake.
We've been pretty lucky so far with the neighbors, but they're back and they're bumping.
Yeah, it never stops.
You know what else bumps, Ryan?
U Motors.
U Motors in Fargo, North Dakota and Pelican Lakes, Minnesota. Guys, these guys have all of the best brands. They have Honda, Yamaha, Ski-Doo, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, and then they also have boats, right? They got the Nautique boats, Super boats, Supreme boats, and if you want to go on a pontoon, Ryan, they got Avalon pontoons as well. So these guys are great to deal with. They were able to sponsor our bar takeovers. They got us a trailer. They have great customer service. And if you mention this ad, you can get 20% off of parts and accessories. Some exclusions may apply. You can check them out on their Facebook, Instagram, and also at their website at umotorsinc.com. That's umotorsinc.com. But speaking of bar takeovers, Ryan, we got to talk about another place in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin, the Showboat Saloon. It's been there for over 100 years.
Yeah.
They do dollar bush lights every single Wednesday. They have live music. They have UFC fights. They have all the other sports you can think of. They'll have DJs, karaoke, you name it, all throughout the week. This is also where we'll be doing our first You Betcha bar takeover on April 27th. It's going to be a great time. We'll be shooting content there. We'll be doing the podcast there live at the Showboat Saloon. All they care about is great entertainment and allowing you to drink dollar bush lights
on Wednesdays.
And we'll also have it on.
Ooh, I was gonna say there's
on April 27th when we're there on Saturday. So they'll have the they claim that the world's greatest band's gonna be there as well, the Swing Crew. So again, the Showboat Saloon in Wisconsin Dells is a rip-roaring time. You have to check them out.
How many small town bar characteristics that we have named off do you think we'll see at the Showboat Saloon?
I kind of want to do a video while I'm at these bar takeovers of like, you're in a small town bar when, and I like go up to the chips and I pull chips off, like do like a live.
We have to do that.
Yeah. So I think we got some ideas for content that we're going to do at these bars in these small towns, and not even necessarily that small towns, but it's the same feel at the same bars. So, yeah, I mean, these guys allow us to do what we do, and so we're super grateful for them. But Ryan, the Masters was this weekend.
Do you think the Showboat Saloon had the Masters on the TV?
I'm sure they did.
Absolutely.
Absolutely they did. The Masters, it was last week, what did I say? I said this is going to be the greatest Sunday.
You said that?
This is going to be I said this is going to be the greatest Sunday that's ever happened in spring.
Oh, the combination of everything. I thought you meant like the greatest Masters Sunday.
Well, that might be as well.
Yes.
So again, I was right yet again. I mean, it just keeps piling up of all the stuff I'm right about. I was right about April 14th, 2019, the greatest spring day ever. Masters Sunday, Tiger Woods takes the cake. Then we roll into Game of Thrones. Great episode. It was what I expected. Nothing crazy was going to happen. But, you got Jon Snow, Aegon Targaryen. He's riding dragons, Ryan. So it was but we'll talk about Game of Thrones later.
I think it's just funny how it was what you expected. Like you didn't go into it with super high expectations. Like there was just going to be this big battle episode 1. Maybe there was. I have not watched it yet. But I think you're just right on par with it. And again, we'll get into this later. I want to hear your take on episode 2 in the next segment.
Yep.
But man, what a way to start off Sunday.
So I actually was appreciative that they moved the Masters up because it gave me more time between that and Game of Thrones. Otherwise, they've been cutting it pretty close.
Yeah.
But in terms of the Masters, why does the Masters just so much more fun to watch?
I don't know. I was telling.
I think part of it is that they just brand it so well.
Yeah. Like
they make the holes. Like they got Amen Corner and it's this thing. And obviously it's a very hard course and stuff, but just the branding of it feels like it's this big event. Plus I think the fact that the patrons, they're not fans, Ryan, they're patrons. The patrons can't have their phones. I think that's a part of it as well. It's just this whole big event and this whole big thing basically just makes it so much more fun to watch than other golf tournaments. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I was going to say the same thing. I was telling the people I was watching the Masters with that I will never go out of my way to watch another golf tournament.
But you'll
besides the Masters.
But you'll schedule in the Masters.
Absolutely. And I don't know why that is. I think it's a lot of what you just described. But there's just a feel to it. The broadcasting, everything is just so
Jim Nantz.
Yeah, everything's so calm and collected.
Okay, the neighbors are bumping again. Sorry about that.
So yeah, and obviously this year, man, I almost teared up watching Tiger sink that last putt.
It was hard not to tear up.
And it was when
he went and hugged his kid and the whole thing. If you haven't seen it, you got to go check it out. Just even, the aftermath of him hugging his kids. And now I think that the thing that most people who aren't just diehard blind Tiger fans that they deal with the most is that he is being put on this big pedestal and that everyone's so happy for him, even though he kind of has been a scumbag in the past.
Yeah, he's definitely battled through adversity, not only the cheating scandal.
But so this is what happens. When they talk about adversity, they only talk about the injuries that he's had. Nike did a commercial and they made it seem like he just was this awesome guy and his fall from grace was his back issues. The start of him falling from graces was when he got caught cheating on his wife. That's when it all started. It wasn't when he started getting back issues and knee issues and whatever. I think that's what irritates me the most is no one, obviously it would be weird to be oh yeah, Tiger, he won this and this year and then he cheated on his wife and then he got injured and no one brings it up because it's weird.
Yeah.
but that's the truth. So like to paint it out that he like, but it's not polite to bring up someone cheating on their wife on TV. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, no, I was watching a news station before I came here, and that was actually one of the things they pointed out. You know, they went through like Tiger's downfall, and it started with the cheating scandal. They mentioned it on the news, but
Yeah.
everywhere, that's the first time I've heard of it in a long time from anybody.
Right. Like we all talk about it,
yeah,
man to man, sitting around the dinner table, whatever. But in terms of like the media talking about it, it's like this like hush hush thing. Like
right.
we already put that to rest, whatever. And I do agree with that. But to act like he became not good at golf for a while because he had back injuries to start, that was part of it. But it all started when when his wife had a club chasing after him or whatever. Remember that? It was just like crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the injuries obviously contributed to it, but golf is such a mental game, and even as like just
Right.
an average golfer, it is so mental for myself, for you, and in different ways. After that all happens, you know, the DUI, we forgot about that part. That was obviously
That
a
one
huge,
I actually don't necessarily blame that much on him. The way that it sounded, after I did a little research, the doc gave him the wrong concoction of drugs
interesting.
and it made him real loopy.
He looked rough in that mugshot,
Yeah.
man.
Now, it might just be that he was just doing drugs and ended up doing that. But from what his side of the story is that
Yep.
he was just taking what his doctor prescribed and his doctor prescribed him the wrong combination or something like that.
Yep.
Now, so I that one I kind of don't fault as much. I just don't get why we're not talking about him coming bad at golf for a period of time because he cheated on his wife and everyone found out his whole mental world is just broken.
Yeah, and I think even now that'll definitely
Because they didn't bring that up once in the Masters.
no, and that'll definitely get shoved under the rug now,
Mm-hmm.
even more than it was before because of this great comeback. You know, they're calling it the best comeback in sports history. Even though it's just funny, LeBron threw some shade at Steph Curry when Steph Curry like tweeted out Tiger with the best comeback in sports history or something like that. LeBron threw some shade as
About
like
3-1.
coming back from 3-1 down.
Yeah.
But on top of that,
But that's what the NBA is. They're like so petty.
exactly. Think about Kobe Bryant and his rape allegations and Ben Roethlisberger, and nobody talks about those
But
things.
so with
anymore.
them, how did it end in court? It got settled outside of court or whatever,
Mhm.
right? Basically, Kobe must have paid her off, and then he gave his wife like this $1 million ring to basically be
Yeah.
like, "I'm sorry."
Yep.
I just think that it's pretty widespread. I'm not saying everyone, but there's just professional athletes have access to be able to hang out. We'll use hangout as the PG version with whoever they want at any time that they want. And it causes a lot of issues and in marriages and all that. Like, I just think that it's just, you look across the board, like in professional athletes, like, I don't know. What do you think?
I completely agree. It's funny now that we're talking about this because the more we talk about it, the more athletes I'm thinking of about their legacies who have gone through stuff like this. Look at a guy like Conor McGregor. In order for Conor McGregor to shove all this stuff aside, he's getting investigated right now for rape allegations or domestic sexual assault allegations in Ireland. He beat the shit out of some guy at an Ireland bar. He smashed some guy's phone in Miami. For this to get swept under the rug for Conor, he would need to come back. He would need to beat Khabib for the belt.
Yep.
And then people would start to forget about it, like Tiger.
Oh, big surprise that these UFC people are beating people up.
Right?
Oh, big surprise that NFL running backs who their job is to just run their head into people are beating up their girlfriends and wives. Like, it just makes sense.
Yep.
Doesn't mean it's okay, but it's just like, well, duh, that's happening to these people. Like,
Yep.
people are like, I can't believe that this would happen. It's like, I see it coming.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't know that this is where this Masters talk would go, but it just was one of those things that kind of irritated me a little bit. Now, you're talking to the guy, I was rooting for Tiger like hard.
Hell yeah.
So I've totally forgave him for it, but there's so many people who are activists for, hey, this guy did this one time. I think he's a scumbag. I hate him. I think that like those people, I think there's quite a few people kind of like just swept this whole thing under the rug. And I guess more what I was trying to say is like, it just kind of irritates me that it's like this hush hush thing that we just don't talk about now.
Yep.
That's part of the story, you know, like part of the story is the fact that he fell from graces because he was cheating on his wife with like 15, 16, probably people who didn't even confess to it, you know, like,
Right.
So I am very happy that he won because for whatever reason, he can do that. He can be gone for years and he comes back and he just like steals your heart away.
Well, it's crazy because at one point in that downfall, he fell out of the top 1,000 in the standings.
Mhm.
And to think a guy like Tiger Woods, who is closing in on Jack Nicklaus for, you know, arguably the greatest golfer of all time, falls below 1,000 golfers in front of him, comes back, does this.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of a storybook ending. Like I could see a movie on Tiger Woods in the future.
I just hope now that he's a better dude.
I feel like that, I don't know, after he won the Masters, the hug with his kid, his family right there, it kind of, everything felt so genuine.
Yeah.
Again, that's just me being caught up in Tiger's moment with him, watching it on
Yeah,
TV.
we all were guilty.
Yeah.
I wanted him to win more than anyone.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
just as much as the next guy.
So
But it was just like a weird thing. And
yeah,
it did feel that way. But then everyone thought he was a pretty decent guy before that. I mean, unless you maybe knew him and he knew that he
Right.
was doing that. But
or you were the person who just thought all these injuries were prohibiting Tiger from being the golfer he was, which it wasn't.
I mean, it was part of it,
It was
obviously.
part of it, but that wasn't the sole.
I think that after the first wave of the media and all that, that really messed with his brain.
Yeah.
But then after that, when he got back into playing more golf, then actually the injuries started happening.
Yep.
And a lot of people say it's because he had like a swing that was just like really hard on his body. And so he had to adjust to that. And from that point on, yes, it was a great sports comeback story and this and that. And really it was, this dude's just cheating on his wife. And now he lost his mojo. You know what I mean?
He's back though, baby.
He's back.
He's back. He's the favorite.
I really hope he's not back because he's just cheating on his girlfriend now. But
yeah. Who knows?
You'd
Maybe
hate
that's
to
why
see
Tiger's
that.
playing good golf again. He is favored to win the PGA Championship. I think he's 8-1 odds, in front of, you know, Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson. You know what really triggers me is that he lost to Phil Mickelson in a 1v1 battle. That really irked me.
Yeah, that was weird.
And it is because it's 1v1 versus Tiger.
I also think that was when Tiger was in his mental state of mind that was like, I'm just really happy to be playing golf again.
Yeah.
He went through like last year. That's what he was like talking. Like
Yeah.
every time he talked to the media, he was like, I'm just happy to be out here. I never thought I was going to play again, blah, blah, blah. I think it'd go a lot different now that he's got the like, the as much as I hate to say it, the eye of the tiger. But yeah. No, and I love how like the end of this segment sounds like I just hate Tiger when it's like the exact opposite.
No, you love Tiger.
But I just thought it was funny in the media that it's just like no one talks about it now.
Right.
Except for like people on Twitter, and that's it. But
Storybook ending, man.
yeah.
I loved seeing that.
I'm happy for him. That was sweet. They always say it's good for golf. The only reason why probably half of the people who watched was because Tiger was in it and winning.
Yeah.
So as a kid who grew up with golf and my family loving golf, if it can keep going because people are watching because Tiger's winning, obviously that's a good thing in my opinion. But what are your last remarks on the Masters, Ryan?
I'm just excited to see how Tiger, how he reacts going forward. You know, is he going to get so caught up in his Masters moment that, you know, affects him in the PGA Championship? It affects him in tournaments down the road. I don't really think it is, because you could tell. Think about how much, as much as there was no pressure on Tiger, because you know, he could have lost and people would have expected that of him these days.
Yep.
He didn't. So I feel like there was a lot of pressure, and even that last, what was it, a 2-foot putt? I was pretty nervous. Like, think of the ice you have to have in your veins, even to sink that 24-inch putt to win the Masters.
Yeah, I mean, It was a pretty easy putt, Ryan.
It was, but man,
It wasn't
start
even
getting
2
in
feet, was it?
it was like 1 to 2 feet. You start getting in your own head. You start thinking of. I feel like everything just runs through your head at that one time.
Did you hear his interview at the end? It was like, he's like, well, all I remember is I hit the putt in, and then I think I screamed. I don't know what else happened after that.
Yep.
I knew it was.
I did see that.
I just think it's funny because I think that happens sometimes to a lot of athletes. Like they just
Black
win
out.
something, and they're just like, oh my god, and they're so
you black out.
emotional, and yeah. That's not the way I thought the Masters talk was going to go. It just felt like all of the young guns, like it felt like the reason why Tiger, I think, has had so much issue with getting back is now that the younger crowd, there's so many good young kids.
Yep.
That it's been harder. Whereas like when Phil and Tiger were like crushing it,
In their
it
30s.
was like them and a couple others that like had chances to win, or like
Yep.
then there would be a fluke where some other random guy would win.
Right.
And now it's like there's so many good young golfers because they actually grew up playing golf and went, the whole thing. I think it was just weird to see the old bones guy out there just beating up on all the young kids.
I loved that. Loved that.
Yeah, that was just funny to see. And when he took that back 9 on Sunday, he was like,
He was so
he
dialed
was so
in.
dead eye. It was
Gosh.
unbelievable.
And you could see it too. You could see
you
it
could just
plain
tell.
as day.
You like as a Tiger fan, you're just like not nervous.
Right.
You weren't like I've been times where like I've been watching like he could lose this. But, like it felt like nothing was gonna stop him. It was crazy. And then when his guy that was in his group hit it in the water a couple times, I was like, oh,
Hole 12.
he's over. Yeah.
Yep. Double bogeyed it. Did you see Michael Phelps in the background?
I saw Michael
I'm like,
Phelps.
is that Michael Phelps? Directly and that's actually turned into a funny meme on the internet. Like people are just having fun with that.
Well, just think about being Michael Phelps. You're past your prime.
Yep.
You made a lot of money, and now you're just like chilling.
He's chilling so hard at the Masters.
I bet he was so
front
baked.
row.
I bet he was so baked. That dude
Yeah.
loves smoking pot.
Speaking of baked, let's talk a little bit about this upcoming weekend, the Easter festivities.
After we get a beer.
I don't feel like I can get a surprise bush in anymore now that the word is out and you are on the lookout.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So,
see it.
Let's grab one real quick. We'll talk a little bit about the Easter weekend. I did not. This isn't a
Ryan?
ploy to.
Ryan,
I
you
still
better
have a little
oh
bit
my-
left. Yeah, you better finish what you're doing.
Oh my god, that's cold. You better not. I'm waiting.
Feel it.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah, there's still a little bit.
I
left.
was.
I'm milking it.
I'm making sure that he doesn't get a surprise bush in on me.
The Masters talk was so intense. I forgot to drink.
That
my
did
beer.
get way more intense than I thought. But
We are huge Tiger fans. Don't get us wrong.
yeah, I just was ripping on the media there for a little while. So Easter's coming up, right?
Yep.
There's a few things about Easter that I find very interesting. It's very different than other family holidays, in my opinion. Thanksgiving, everyone's just so amped to get there and eat food.
Yep.
Christmas, you're so amped to just show up, eat, open up presents, the whole thing.
Have a good weekend.
4th of July, you show up, you get bombed, you light off fireworks. It's exciting. And then Easter rolls around, you eat some ham or whatever. But then it's like,
Then what do you do?
What else?
You go to church in the morning, you come back, you have a family dinner.
Yeah, you go to your
the classic
relatives.
ham.
Yeah.
I feel like what follows on Easter is the Easter egg hunt.
Right, but that's for kids. So once you're
That's what you think. Now, I have been a part of an Easter egg hunt that is one of the funnest hunt.
it's the
Easter egg
funnest
hunts.
hunt.
It's the funnest hunt I've ever been on.
Funnest.
I've shot big deer. I've shot
Yeah,
a lot of
but-
pheasants.
So
but this is the best hunt.
you probably are in a family that gets all amped up for games and stuff too. Do you guys do game nights and stuff like
No,
that?
we don't do game nights. So Meg's family, I'll just give you a little background.
So it's Meg's family.
Yep.
Do they do?
They do this Easter egg hunt, and it's a beer in hand Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
So the whole time, you have to have a beer in hand. Obviously, you have to finish it before the Easter egg hunt is done.
Yeah, easy.
So last time we did it was out at the lake. So her aunts and uncles have a cabin on the lake.
Okay.
There's an open lot, and then Meg's family has a cabin. So it's a pretty big area of just like all family. Well, they hide Easter eggs all over like the yard and in the tree. And obviously you can see them because everything is like brown and it hasn't grown back
Yep.
yet. And it's just like blatant to the Easter egg.
Yeah, like
So-
yeah.
One of them has a $50 bill in it. 4 or 5 have a $5 bill. 4 or 5 have 50 cents in it. A couple of them have like chewing up gum in them. A couple of them have like lint in them. A couple of them have like a Band-Aid in them. So it's really exhilarating because, you know, you do the quick shake and a Band-Aid is going to feel like a $50 bill. So opening up that Easter egg it's quite the feeling.
So you're like a kid. You basically get
kid in a candy
an
store.
hour, half hour,
Yeah.
less than that even.
Yep.
To feel like a kid again.
Yep.
I like that, Ryan.
So the adult beer in hand Easter egg hunt is a lot of fun.
I do like that, but I just come from a family that's not going to do that.
You know, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like there's families who are very involved or like love game nights. They love, activities such as that. And I like that, and I wish my family was like that a little bit sometimes. But we just have never done stuff like that. Even our game nights are like half-ass.
Yeah.
I feel like when we sit down to play a game, it's like, well, let's see if this goes well. No one's like,
Right.
this is gonna be awesome. And then when we get together with our bigger families, it's mostly just sitting around drinking, hanging out. But unless you're in a family like that, like, what else is there to even do on Easter? Because the sports aren't that great.
No, I mean
There's some
no
playoff basketball, right?
Man, that's just so flooded out. I feel like it's not.
Well, it's not very late in the playoffs. It's pretty early in the
Yeah.
playoffs and all that stuff. But now, does Easter ever land on Master Sunday? I feel like it does.
I don't
at
think
some
so.
point.
No, because no, it
Because
doesn't.
Easter's super late this year.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it is.
Either way, I just feel like there's nothing to do on Easter, but every other holiday has stuff that you're like excited about. Thanksgiving, you kind of do the same thing, but you're so amped to eat. It's like a big thing. And then there's also like football going on. Every year there's football on there.
Right.
I just feel like it's so like anticlimactic. You just show up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way just to get all the family together. You know, you always need those reasons, and you hope that they're not.
Right.
It's not a funeral
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the family's getting
Yeah.
together. So obviously, being a college student too, you get a few days off here and there. So good opportunity to make the drive home, spend some time with the family, eat some ham. Are you a ham family?
Yeah. We usually would go to my dad's side and we would have ham.
Yeah, same.
And we have turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yep.
We actually have ribs on Christmas.
Interesting.
Is that weird?
No, I don't think so. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's delicious. But
I like the non-typical. I'm trying to think of like the most unique meal I've eaten
God,
on a
I
holiday.
want ribs bad now, Ryan.
Yeah,
But yeah, I know what you're saying. It's like some people either do like a weird thing, like some people do duck on Thanksgiving and stuff, or
Yeah.
like a turducken or whatever.
we've done goose on Thanksgiving. So, if we shoot geese we're primarily duck hunters. We don't go out just to hunt geese. We'll if we shoot a couple geese, we'll pluck them, right? So we don't just breast them out. We'll literally pluck all the feathers out, and it's like a big turkey.
hmm
You know, it comes
Yep.
as like a rotisserie goose, I guess you could say.
hmm
And that's pretty good. You shove an apple and or like a beer can in the chest cavity. Spicens it up a little bit, gives it some good flavor.
Is that a really dry, sarcastic thing about a beer can?
No, like you actually put a beer can in the chest cavity.
And then put it in the oven?
Yeah. You're
Are you
looking at me right now. No, I'm dead serious. Dead serious.
What happens to the beer?
It's just like the fumes of the beer, like being boiled.
Like you crack open a beer?
Yeah. So, well, you put a hole in the top. Obviously, you're going to take a little bit out. So you put a hole in the top. You put it in. Put the pan in the oven, and then the fumes like release out of the top of the hole.
Huh. Because I did a video on Thanksgiving, like basically making a joke, like I'm going to put a beer can in the turkey.
Yeah, it's a thing.
So my whole video is just a fraud.
No, I think
If you're listening to this, you should have seen the look on my face. I was just staring at him. I was like, that was a joke, right?
Maybe it's something that not a lot of people do, but
I've never heard that before.
Yep. You've heard of the apples. You've heard of all that kind of thing.
Yeah, stuffing, the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
why don't you just like pour some beer on it?
Well, I mean, you could do
Or
that,
in
but
it.
it's just gonna. I mean, you could do that.
It's like doing like you put chicken in a crock pot with a beer and some butter, and it's like
Yeah, I don't know.
Beer
Again, it's just
chicken.
like the non-typical way to make a rotisserie goose.
yeah. My mind is spinning right now from that comment of yours. About
Again, so
that.
you just.
I didn't even flinch.
So that was leading. I did that because it was leading into what I'm going to say next. It's kind of like shotgunning a beer, right? So poke a hole in the top.
Yeah.
You put it inside.
Yeah, I get
Dump
how
it.
I get how it works.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't know anyone ever did that.
Well, and I watched your video, and I never really thought anything of it. I thought
It was
good.
supposed to be like a sarcastic, like no one would ever do this. That's why this is funny.
I thought it was more of just like a hey, here's another way to use a Busch Light.
No, it was supposed to be like, well, actually, the actual bit was that I put it in the oven for 3 hours and then I open it and say that it's cold.
Sure.
But I didn't cook the turkey with it in there.
Man, it can be it can be done.
I did.
You're so mind blown right now.
I am shocked. If you've ever done this, have you ever heard of this? Please let us know because this is an absolute bananas development here by Ryan, the t-shirt guy.
Maybe I should do a video on like making an actual like a rotisserie goose.
You need to do some video, Ryan, because you haven't been putting out any content. I finally got your video done.
Well,
but
when
you
this
could have been
podcast
doing-
releases, there will be a gold mine of a video. You guys will all be able to see the merch perch upgrades.
So did when's it posting right now? Or
Tomorrow.
already did? Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll already be up. Okay, sorry. I gotta do the time travel thing with the podcast. But
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan, the t-shirt guy, and his family throw just an open beer. They don't put beer in the recipe. They just put an open beer can in their goose and just cook it up. Didn't know that was a thing. So another big thing about Easter too is obviously the candy.
We can end the podcast now if you're so thrown it back by this.
No,
beer.
I'm now over it.
I'm kidding, but-
I've now moved on from Ryan's being a lunatic.
I did not expect that reaction. I remember you doing the video. I obviously didn't think of it top of mind when I was talking about this bit, but man, that was good. It was almost as good of the reaction as I got when I did the surprise.
So if
Bush.
anyone's wondering if this is planned or if any of my videos are like super, super scripted, this right here proves that this is not that way. Cause the look on my face, if you're listening to it, was like, I was just like sitting here. And that's why I was such a long pause. I was waiting for like him to laugh or something.
Yeah, we'll cut it. This would be a good segment to cut up. and
Holy moly. I didn't know that was a thing.
man, I'm like the last two podcasts I've really
It's just blown my mind.
Yeah.
But can we get onto the candy, Ryan, or are you just going to keep talking about geese?
No, absolutely. We can get onto the candy.
What's your favorite candy at
Not
Easter?
Peeps.
Peeps.
Peeps suck.
When was the last time you had a peep?
I think I just eat one. I
Just
eat one
because
every
they're
year.
there.
Just for one because they're there, and for two just to like reinforce the fact that they suck.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, let me try this again. You're like, oh, those do suck.
Maybe it looks good. But no, I'm an egg, an egg
Wait,
type of guy,
like
the milk
is it
chocolate eggs.
Cadbury egg or whatever?
Yep.
With the does it have a caramel in the middle?
No,
Just straight
the egg.
chocolate.
Or jelly beans.
I do like jelly beans. My favorite, I just love the Reese's. Not the Reese's like you like to call it, Ryan.
The Reese's.
The Reese's egg. I mean, it's basically just a Reese's, but I just like that it's shaped in an egg. It tastes delicious. So that's usually what I'm going for on Easter. But yeah, Peeps are no go.
No.
It's up, but they're there. They always show up.
And people always buy them.
I know. It's so stupid.
Now, a funny thing that happened to my family, this was years ago. So we always used to get gifted like the big chocolate bunnies. And so we got up.
I got another thing after just putting it out there. You got to remind me.
Okay. So we went to church in the morning. And when we got up, it's kind of like Christmas, like we opened our gifts right away, whatever. My parents usually give us like a card, throw some money in there and get us like a big chocolate Easter bunny.
Yep.
So put it on the table, and Easter a couple of years ago was a nice day out. The sun was shining through the window.
Yeah, say he was in the sun.
We get back from church. This thing is half melted on top of the kitchen table. Not that I was like super just like bummed
just
out about
grab
it.
a straw and just start slurping
I probably
it up.
could have. Honestly, it would have been like a chocolate malt.
Yeah.
But we kind of joke about that going forward with Easter bunnies. What are you gonna say about the
I have seen the big Easter bunny egg. Big
chocolate Easter bunny?
chocolate Easter bunny. Push burp. My parents always, I must just love Reese's because they would get us, it was like in a plastic carrot. It was like it's like a bag that's shaped like, it's like a triangle.
Oh yeah.
And then the it's all orange Reese's Pieces, and then the top is like green and like tied off. We got one of those every year growing up, and it's just like a staple in my household.
Will you get one this year again?
Maybe. I got little nieces and nephew now, so like
Yeah.
we don't get anything obviously anymore, but
The shift is now to them.
yes, I'm like I want my mom to like keep buying those because that's like what we did. But another thing that was kind of in my family, so my grandma passed away. R.I.P. to my grandma, but she used to make Jello eggs.
Ooh.
So like full blown like big Jello eggs. I'm not talking like the little guys. I'm talking not like jelly bean size. Like we're talking like big ones. That you would like go and just the whole thing in your mouth. You know, yeah. Like have you ever seen The Replacements when the big fat guys eating the hard boiled eggs in the locker room?
Great movie.
Basically, what you would do with those Jello eggs. So that was part of our Easter all the time growing up was the Jello eggs.
See, that's unique. I've never heard of that being done before. You should bring that back. Bring back Grandma's recipe.
I don't know how you make Jello eggs. Maybe there's some mold you use or what, but we've talked about it because obviously she's gone now, but someone continuing the Jello egg legacy. But,
so here's my question. Easter, what is the staple animal of Easter? It's a bunny, correct?
Yes.
So where does like the egg, like where do the eggs come from? That might be like a super.
What comes first, the bunny or the egg? Is that what you're asking me, Ryan?
Sure.
I don't know.
Peeps are little chicks.
Right. It doesn't make any sense.
Where did that?
Because I don't think rabbits, bunnies, they don't lay eggs.
No.
So
I would be very interested to hear the history of that and why the egg is coupled with the bunny.
Well, does the bunny take the eggs from the chicken and hide them?
What does that have to do with Easter?
I don't know, Ryan. I'm still recovering from you putting an actual beer can in your oven.
You'll thank me later.
But yeah, I don't know. It is awesome though on Easter when the weather is really good. Nothing's worse than a like. I mean, I guess it's the same with every holiday. Christmas, it's got to be snowing.
Got to be snow.
Thanksgiving, the weather's got to be not that sweet. It's got to be like kind of just chilly.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily be that sunny because it's like supposed to be like football weather, you know. 4th of July, it's got to be hot. It's got to be sunny. Easter, I feel like it needs to be like 50, 55 degrees and sunny. And it's like the best Easter weather. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I think we're getting that weather this weekend. It's supposed to be like 70 on Saturday.
Let's go.
Sunday's supposed to be a little bit chillier, but yeah, I think you nailed that on the head as far as weather goes. I was curious what you were going to say about Thanksgiving. A little bit of Thanksgiving can go either way. You can either have snow and be happy about it, or you can not have snow and be happy about it. Christmas, if you don't have snow, you're pissed.
Yeah, it's like, well, this sucks.
So
It feels like Thanksgiving.
it feels like Thanksgiving, right? So that's interesting. A lot of things come with the holidays that we don't think about. Why the bunny and the egg pairs together.
Does your family, when they get together, do they like, are there always the same people help in the kitchen and always the same people sit on the couch and watch TV and
Every time.
yeah.
Yep. It's my mom, her sisters,
And then you try and do anything a little bit different that year? Like go talk to a random person that you don't normally talk to in the family and like everyone's just kind of like, what's going on?
No, that usually doesn't happen. But as much as I would like to, well, I say this now, as much as I would like to help out with like the food and stuff.
No,
you just don't know
You don't want to help with the food.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like
There's just, you don't want me helping with the food, by the way. Like there's so many better qualified people out there to help with the food than me that it's just, I don't even entertain that idea.
But you also just don't know what's going on because they're so good at it.
Why are they so good
They're so
at
good
making
at
food?
just like the combinations of food and the timing it comes out. And I don't know. I'm not saying that making the food needs to be a woman's job by any means, but they just have things so dialed in that it's not even worth.
No, I'm sure a lot of families have men who cook well, and
my dad loves carving the turkey on Thanksgiving.
That's the thing is that's what my dad does too.
Yep.
Bush burp. But are you a person when you get the, all right, it's time to eat? Are you hanging back, letting other people go first, or are you going right for it?
No, because there always needs to be that one guy who
I'm
just
a
breaks
little
the
bit.
ice.
I'll just go right for it as well.
Yeah, I don't have any shame in being the first one in line.
Plus, I'm probably really hungry.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I like to eat. Someone's got to do it, and I'm going to be that guy.
I like it. Well, I think that I'm still gonna have a peep on
Me too.
Easter. But yeah, it's nice to get together with family. Maybe I'll have to suggest if I feel like my family's gonna be like, nah, we're not doing that.
Well, it
but-
doesn't need to be done in a goose either.
I'm talking about the beer in hand Easter egg hunt,
Okay. I was referring
which
back
could be
to-
fun,
to the
but I
bread and
feel like my
butter.
family's gonna be like, yeah, it sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. Yeah, and they've
But-
been doing it for years. So it's a lot of fun.
Plus, I think in my family, someone would get hurt.
Probably
A lot of like
competitiveness.
shoulders to chins and.
Yep.
But
I mean, especially the $50 bill on the line.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of Busch Light you can get.
It's like 3 bushels.
Yeah, it is. So Ryan, Game of Thrones season 8, episode 1 is in the books. If you're listening, if you're watching, and you haven't seen it and you want to, turn this off right now. We don't want to spoil it for you. Or if you haven't made it all the way through to season 8, turn it off. Shut it off because we don't want to spoil it for you. But I'm going to spoil the crap out of this for Ryan. And Ryan's leaving. Where are you going? Oh, you don't want to spoil it? I thought you were going to go print shirts. So
Before you, I mean, I'm just going to sit back. I did watch season 1.
yeah, this is going to be a
episode
shorter
1.
segment because you don't have much to contribute.
Right. I did watch season 1, episode 1 last night.
And I am going to ruin this for Ryan.
But man, it's going to take me 6 months to get to
God,
season 8.
I don't know if I want to ruin it for you. All I will say,
I'll let you take the reins. I do what you need to do.
I don't want to ruin it for Ryan. All I will say is I thought what was going to happen happened. It actually, so you just started watching it, right?
Yeah, last night.
Episode 1 of season 8 was paralleled a lot of stuff that happened in season 1, episode 1. The same type of shots, the same type of storyline of what was happening kind of were very well paralleled, and they obviously did that on purpose because a lot of stuff has changed since episode 1, but a lot of stuff is also the same. It was like the blissful, like, without like revealing too much, it's just like, it was like before all of the shit hits the fan, it was like we're all just like so happy to be back together. And like, that's what the whole episode was, you know, like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. So good to see you. Hugs and kisses and, you know, whatever. But next episode, I think it's all going to change. I think it's going to be stuff's really going to start getting back to normal Game of Thrones. It's going to be people backstabbing each other. It's going to be, should we execute this guy? Should we execute this gal? Should we not? And then obviously the big thing is that the Night King is coming with his army of the dead, which you see in the first episode, right? You saw the guy throw the head.
I did, yeah. It didn't really look like a guy. It looked like a werewolf.
Yeah, it was a White Walker.
Right, yeah. But he looked like a werewolf.
So they're coming. They've been coming the whole show.
Well, the White Walkers haven't been around for 30,000 years.
It's not been that long, Ryan. But
that's what Ned Stark said in episode 1. Remember the guy
I
that
don't think it was 30,000 years.
It was some thousands of years.
Yeah. It wasn't 30. Trust me, Ryan. I'm a nerd.
I'm trying to prove you wrong right now. I've seen one episode.
Trust me. So it's gonna be interesting. Bran is just creeping around like a weirdo. Sansa is just being a giant old bitch. No,
Who is Sansa?
Sansa is the red-haired Stark girl.
Okay, she had the hots for that little shithead.
King Joffrey.
Yeah, he
you
dies.
will begin to hate him even more. So.
Well, and like I said, I about 2.5 years ago, I watched the first 6 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But I just need to start back from square one. And I did see him die, and that's not a spoiler. Everyone wants him to die in Game of Thrones. So continue.
Yeah, so just a brief segment here on Game of Thrones. I just think that it was what I expected. I was super amped, obviously, but I didn't think anything crazy was going to happen. It's a setup episode for the rest of the season. But it did feel way too much like everyone was like, oh my God, this is so fun. And it's like, you're about to die. Like, the army of the dead is marching upon you and you are going to die. Why is everyone so happy? Which was weird because like the last like season 6 and season 7 were like, everyone was just in the worst mood at all times. Then all of a sudden, because it's season 8, everyone's just in a good mood. I don't know. I didn't really like that, but
it's funny how you recognize that.
It did feel good. It felt like good, which is I think that they want everyone to feel.
Right.
Yeah, it's just I'm excited. Are you still sticking by your prediction that the Night King will win and Daenerys will die?
Yeah. I mean, just by what you said, it's looking pretty good right now.
You're looking good right now. In Vegas,
I've seen
you're
one
looking
episode.
Good.
Obviously, I've seen 6 episodes, but I'm square one, right? So I was just impressed by how this was so hyped on social media. Season 8.
Did the numbers come in on how many people watched?
I have no clue.
I'm gonna take a look. You keep talking, Ryan.
So
what did you think?
I have never seen a TV series this hyped before. Now,
yeah.
Name a couple other big time TV series that you've watched, been super excited for. Prison Break. I was super amped.
Breaking Bad, I think, was a big one.
Breaking Bad, but even then, obviously, social media wasn't as prominent when Prison Break and Breaking Bad were at their prime. But man, there was every professional athlete, every celebrity was tweeting Game of Thrones.
You ready, Ryan? You ready for the numbers?
Let's hear it.
Game of Thrones season 8 premiere shatters ratings record. It had massive ratings record for its final season premiere. The HBO hit delivered 17.4 million viewers on Sunday evening across multiple airings and some streaming. So 17.4 million people watch Game of Thrones. And that's not, you have to take into account, like, that's how many, like, TVs it was on. and not how many people are actually watching. Because think about people who did watch parties. Think about like you watch it with your girlfriend or your brother or everyone in your whole family. Like, think of how many people actually watch this. So 17.4 million.
Now, does it come on HBO after the fact? Like, is it kind of like a Hulu where?
Yeah. So now it's just available on HBO.
Well, and think of
So I actually,
think of how
not to
many.
lie, I did watch it a second time last night. This is Monday when we're recording this. I watched it twice on Sunday. So
No way.
and then I started watching YouTube videos, but they didn't have any like reaction ones up yet. So
Well, you should be that guy to put a reaction video up
I know I should.
because those are the videos that get the most views.
The last record was The Big Bang Theory with 14.1 million viewers.
What?
The Big Bang Theory sucks. Thank God it beat it by like over 3 million viewers. I like that.
Well, that's pretty crazy because I feel like network television these days, well, not really network television, but just like watching a TV in real time when an episode is airing in general is just not heard of anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just goes back to how hyped it was.
Well, so I also attribute to not having very many shows that are like this.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's not about one episode at a time anymore.
Right.
Like, let's take, for example, The Ozarks, right? Have you seen that show?
Mm-hmm.
I love that show. It's a great show. There's 2 seasons. But when it comes out on Netflix, it's just you get the whole season at once.
Yep.
The 13 Reasons Why, all of them at once, you know? Push for. Whereas we're all doing that a lot more than we are watching it one episode at a time.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the reason why. But yeah, it was, I mean, I was amped. I loved it.
Yeah. So, funny backstory for all of our listeners. I think it was Friday or Saturday. I texted you. I said, "Hey, what's your HBO login?"
Yeah, so Ryan is now mooching off of my HBO. Please no one tell HBO so that I don't get my account shut down. But Ryan, so not only am I paying his rent, not only am I paying his groceries with the check I give him every month, I am now providing his entertainment needs. So basically, he's like my child.
I mean, yeah, that's accurate. So I think that because of how I'm going to go back to just how hyped this whole thing was. I'm like, I had a mad case of FOMO. I'm like, I need to start this.
I know.
Because if this thing is blowing up the way it is, like, why am I not watching it? For one, like, I don't.
You got about 5 to 6 more weeks to watch all of Game of Thrones so that you can watch the final episode with everyone else. If you think about it like that, Ryan.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I figured it out. It was like 70 to 80 hours for episodes. It was
10 episodes a season until season 7. There's 7 episodes, but because they're longer episodes, it ends up being around 10 hours in season 7. So it's like 70 hours total.
Yeah.
But if you spread that out over the next 5 weeks.
So if I took the next 3 days off, I'm going to get all the shirts printed, or we're going to send them out. I'm going to take the next 3 days off, and I'm going to watch 24 hours.
Well, we're going to have some drives in the car here coming up for the bar takeovers. We'll throw it on a computer and a hotspot and you'll be good to go.
I think we could get it done. I think I could catch up to season 8.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
So
By the
I'm
time
not going to lie, I didn't start watching it until before season 7. So in between season 6 and season 7.
is when you started.
Yeah. But that's when it like started getting on the radar. It wasn't on the radar really before that.
Yep.
But I got on it then. So I've been watching it for probably 2 years now. I started watching it and then like I did the thing where like, you know, you get through 4 seasons and then you realize that there's like 3 weeks left before the next season premiere but you want to be caught up. And so I like binged like the last 2 seasons or whatever quick and caught up to season 7. So I did what we're doing now with season 8 with season 7 as well.
And this is it. Season 8 is it.
I know I'm going to cry. I
You
legitimately
can confirm that season 8 it's done.
It is done, Ryan. I don't know why you keep trying to shove a season 9 on us, but
because like producers are notorious for doing that.
no, they're not.
They are though.
No, they're not.
I just think you don't want to accept that there is a season 9. We'll roll this back in 2 years when season 9 comes out, because then it'll be from the White Walkers.
Ladies and
perspective.
gentlemen, I do not want to be called fake news. There is no season 9. And that was talking Game of Thrones. Ryan, you need to catch up. Please.
I'm on the way, man.
So we can have an intelligent conversation before this season is done. How does that sound?
Yeah, it sounds good.
All right, guys, this podcast was brought to you by U Motors Motorsports and Marine, located in Fargo, North Dakota and Pelican Lake, Minnesota. They have awesome brands: Yamaha, Ski-Doo, Honda, Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Nautique boats, Supreme boats, super boats, Avalon pontoons, any boat you can imagine.
All the boats.
All of the boats. If you mention this ad, you get 20% off parts and accessories. Some exclusions may apply.
We are hot, baby.
Sorry to interrupt the ad, but Ryan's t-shirt maker is beeping at us. You can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, also on their website, umotorsinc.com. That's umotorsinc.com. But don't forget about the Showboat Saloon. They got Dollar Bush Lights in Wisconsin Dells on Wednesdays. They will also have it when we are there on April 27th, 2019. The Showboat Saloon, Wisconsin Dells, Dollar Bush Lights. They got UFC, they got sports, they got live bands, they have karaoke, DJs, you name it. They've been around for over 100 years. We're excited to be there. We'll see you there on April 27th. Ryan, close her out, baby. Because we are hot, baby.
Guys, we're hot. We are so hot right now. Thanks again for watching episode 15 of the You Betcha Radio podcast. Miles and I did not plan these outfits. I realized that we are matching the Ubidi in front of us. I think it's going to be a cool, just a cool vibe with all of the Ubidi.
It's going to be aesthetically pleasing,
purple.
is what you're saying.
Aesthetically pleasing. Guys, go follow us at Oh You Betcha on all social media platforms. You can go follow myself at Ryan the T-Shirt Guy. I'm slowly putting out more content, but I've just been so busy printing so many shirts.
Yeah. Turtle speed.
For now, go follow those 2 pages.
Like your lawnmower's got the rabbit speed and the turtle speed.
I'm on turtle right now.
You're on
man.
full turtle.
Yep. Printing shirts, I'm on rabbit speed. Content, I'm on turtle speed, but we're gonna crank it up. Again, we're wrangling up the best ranch in the Midwest at Ranch Wrangler. Been super consistent with it over the weeks. The best viscosity, the best ranch. I need to go print t-shirts. I am Ryan the T-Shirt Guy.
And I'm Miles, You Betcha Guy. Ryan, get out of here. Go print some shirts. Thanks for stopping. Oh, God. Ryan. Thanks for listening to You Betcha Radio podcast. May your ranch always be runny. May your bush lattes forever be cold. Ryan's not here, so I'm going to cheers myself. Cheers.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.